Hello, everybody. My name is Dan Berube, coming to you from Spectacle Live. And joining me today is Jack Rowles from the DC Reflecting Fools, coming to Cary Memorial Hall on Sunday, February 5th at 3 p.m. Jack, how are you doing today?
Doing very, very well. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. The snow is coming down. We
Oh,
got a snow day here in Massachusetts and New England. So
okay.
I'm not in the office. I'm recording this from the marketing bunker in my basement.
Nice.
But happy to be
Nice.
talking to you about DC Reflecting Fools.
Yeah,
Now, we've actually worked together because you were in a group known as the Capitol Steps,
absolutely.
and you've been to Cary Hall before. But let's talk a little bit about how DC Reflecting Fools came to be.
Yeah, well, so the Capitol Steps is around for 40 years, traveling the country with four casts, making people laugh, political satire, having a blast doing. I was a part of 20 years
Mhm.
of that experience, and loved it with a passion. And the Capitol Steps, the pandemic came along, and basically we just weren't built to handle something like that. So the original creator of the Capitol Steps, Elena Newport, she was the other
Mhm.
co-writer. She decided, it's time to let this go. And so there were a few of us in the group who thought, no, I think there's a lot of people out there who are loving this still
Yeah.
and need this still.
Mhm.
And so I reached out to Mark, the other writer, the co-writer, and said, what's up, man? You want to
Mhm.
keep this thing going? And he was game, and here we go. We're off and running.
Excellent. And I think one of the hardest parts about coming up with a new project is you have to name it. Now, obviously, like Reflecting Fools, it's a play on the reflecting pool in DC. But was this like the first contender? Did you guys like how was the process? What were some of the names that you guys didn't go with?
Oh, geez, you don't want to know some of those. That gets a little scary. The we no, so that was maybe the hardest piece of this whole transition.
Gotcha.
Yeah, is coming up with another name. And we tried, DC's Follies, which was like, this is some vaudeville sing and
Mhm.
dance crew, and that's not good. So at one point we are like, oh, the West Wingers. That's no,
Mhm.
that's not good either, whatever. But in truth, our writer, Mark, before he was with Capitol Steps, he was with a group that didn't really do very much, but they were named Reflecting Fools. And so
Mhm.
he threw that out there after 3 months of us trying to find something. And we were like, hey, that's great.
Yeah.
That's ideal. And then we added DC's Reflecting Fools just because we felt like there's some people out there that may not connect to the
Right.
reflecting pool, and,
Mhm.
and then just so we came up with DC's Reflecting Fools, and so far it's working pretty well.
All right. Now, what can fans expect when they come to the show at Cary Hall on February 5th?
Well, if you liked the Capitol Steps, you're going to love DC's Reflecting Fools.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things you can expect. You're going to expect a show very similar. Mark is the writer, and he was the writer for 20 years. So we have a lot of the same material that's been updated for
Mhm.
today's news, which is what we're really known for. And it's one thing we are trying to do is we're trying to bring in some new material as well. We're trying,
Mhm.
like we have Marjorie Taylor Greene doing "Call Me Crazy," which is going very well and getting an
Mhm.
excellent response. So that's a more popular, updated
Yeah.
song that we'll bring to the show. But
Gotcha.
we still have our classics in there. Where you've
Mhm.
got Joe Biden singing, "When I'm 84." So, and then they all
Mhm.
and it, which still just works, is golden. It's just
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Now, we're not quite there yet, but primary season is just around the corner. And I always think primary season is the most fertile time for political satire because you have the largest cast of characters and there's new people coming, into popularity. Is there anyone that like you're personally hoping is going to run either so that you can play them or just because you think like they're just going to give you a lot of material?
Well, all right. So first of all, they're all funny. So there's
Mhm.
there's you don't have to worry about being specific. But if
Mhm.
I were to be specific, I mean, I enjoyed Mitt Romney a lot.
Okay.
I had some good times with him. He's fun to poke fun at, uh,
Hmm.
and to poke, and he's open. He likes to have be poked fun at.
Yep.
He's sort of a more easygoing politician as far as that sort of thing goes. Um, no, I think the cast of characters we have now are pretty strong in the
Yep.
funny department. We have Biden and we have Trump, of course. We have
Hmm.
Pelosi, we have McConnell, we have McCarthy. Like I said, Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's all the other incoming congressmen, and George DeSantis
Hmm.
has made a recent introduction into the show with great response. We basically start our show out and said, we do an offstage announcement and say, please welcome the Capitol steps. It is they were recently performed before 100,000. I'm not here I go. I just did it.
Yeah, you've been in there for 20 years.
20
You're allowed
years.
that.
And I just and oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, so we say DC's Reflecting Fools, performed before 1,000 people at Wembley Stadium and just received the Congressional Medal of Honor. And this intro is written by George Santos,
Gotcha. Yeah,
the
yeah,
lying
yeah,
congressman.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
And like let's say like there's like two people in the cast want to play the same character. Like how do you guys decide that?
they just go at it, and last one standing,
Oh, all
whoever.
right. It's
Yeah,
just a
no, it's
straight up throwdown.
it's just like when they were voting McCarthy in, and you had a
Hmm.
couple of the guys ready to attack
Hmm.
Gates.
Yep.
They had to pull him back by the
Right.
face.
Yep.
Well, the same thing happens in the Reflecting Fools.
Mhm.
If we got a new song come in from Mark, and everybody's like, oh no, I need to have that. Then we're
Yeah.
like, okay, just slap fight.
And you've kind of you brought up Mitt Romney, but looking at the last 20 years, who's in the personal favorites
Oh gosh.
of characters you've gotten to play?
I liked George Bush,
Mhm.
Senior,
George
actually.
Bush Sr. Yeah.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna,
Hmm.
that whole parade. That was he was wonderful to portray. Enjoyed him. Enjoyed. I had a good time with Mitt. Mitt was good. The Pope was one of my favorites.
The Pope.
The Pope. The Pope
Wh-
has come.
which Pope was your Pope?
Pope John.
John. Okay.
John Paul.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Fauci actually is one of the characters that I'm having a good time with
Hmm.
these days. We still have him in the show, celebrating his recent retirement
Yep.
and offering our take on his characterization. Yeah, Clinton was a big one for everybody. I mean, if people were going to get into a battle over who gets to play someone,
Right.
it was gonna
Right.
be Bill Clinton, because you could just repeat what he said, and no joke, nothing else, just repeat it, and
Yep.
it stopped the show.
Right.
So and that is fun.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
I'm sorry.
yeah.
So I got into the group 20 years ago, which was in 2001, the summer, and they were Capitol Steps, and I can say Capitol Steps now
Hmm.
because I am referring to Capitol Steps. They were looking for somebody who was similar to Gary Condit.
Hmm.
Remember that with Chandra Levy and that whole scandal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I walk in and I can sing a little and I'm funny,
Hmm.
and they're like, okay, come
There you
on.
go. That
Yeah.
was that was your gateway to
That
all
was
of
my
this.
ticket. That was my ticket. Yep.
And just you kind of referenced it, but getting back into it, like what's it been like, taking this out on the road, getting in a front of crowds again? I think all of us in live entertainment have been feeling great about having audiences in the building again, and particularly for comedy, like it's one thing to think something's funny, and
Yeah.
then the audience lets you know whether it is or not.
Yeah. And they're letting us know, and they're
Yeah.
letting us know that they need this, that
Yeah.
that they've missed it and they've been hungry for it. And I mean, we played Lincoln, Nebraska a couple weeks ago, had 1,000 people sitting in that room, in that theater, and they just absolutely loved it, and standing ovation. And at the end, there's a guy in the front row, and we actually have a recording of us doing the bows, and he just points, "You guys are awesome." You know, we're like, "Hey, thanks, man."
Thanks, yay.
That's
it's always good to get that validation at the end of the night.
But the thing is, good. You know, it's people are even more hungry now to find the light side of all this, you know, to be able to occasionally laugh about it. Because if we don't laugh about the politics and all of this, then we're going to go crazy, you know,
right. Because it's gotten so intense that you have to be able to skewer it a little bit.
Yeah, and we need to let go of that intensity, and that's what we're trying to do. Just have fun with it and make people laugh. And both sides of the aisle, you know, we're not looking to slam one side or the other, but just like with Capitol Steps, we're looking to, you know, bipartisan. Fashion.
Everyone's supplying you guys with material.
Every single day. Every day.
Jack, any parting words, you know, or any hints you can give us about what to expect on Sunday, February 5th at Cary Hall? Any teasers, anything new you guys maybe gonna break out for us?
Yeah, we're working on a little McConnell-McCarthy bit. They do a little discussion about their place in all of this, and I won't go any further with that one. But like I said, Santos is a special moment, and we actually harken back to kind of bring Santos and a Christmas moment together, which I know sounds odd, but but it works very nicely.
Yep.
Yeah, we're still doing some of the songs that were classics with Capitol Steps, because I think, just for people to come back, you know, they want to harken back to those days and to feel that and remember that. And then at the same time, you know, we're addressing everything that's going on in the news at this very moment.
Right. I was going to say, we're recording this 2 weeks before the show, so you know, I imagine rewrites can happen in the car over to the theater if something crazy happens.
And they will, and they do, and they will again.
Excellent. All right. Well, Jack, thank you so much for joining me today. We're really looking forward to the debut of DC Reflecting Fools at Cary Hall, Lexington, Mass. on Sunday, February 5th at 3 p.m. Get your tickets now at caryhalllexington.com.
Oh, I want to tell you about DC's Reflecting Fools. My favorite group used to be Capitol Steps, but they shut down. And DC Reflecting Fools, it's like the same thing. I mean, they got the same performers as Capitol Steps, the same co-writer as Capitol Steps, same songs as Capitol Steps. It's like the same thing as Capitol Steps, only better. They're going to be at Cary Hall on February 5th. DC's Reflecting Fools, they get my full endorsement, because my endorsement always works out so well.